Hello everyone, today we are going to see SQLite database helper. So my sample app is like this. Let me show you. So this contains a login page and then this is a sign up page. So let's give some random sign up. IOP, something like this. Sign up. So registered successfully. So on logging up, it must show your details like email, password, phone, name, etc. So the basic idea is showing is this to show the usage of SQLite database helper. So let's see the main activity file. This box put on top of this. Okay, now this is the main activity file. Let's see the activity on the main. So this is the XML file. So for login, this is the text view and this is a image view, like the image I downloaded from the internet and this embedded in this. These are two text boxes. The text hint to display this like placeholder, you must use the hint option, and then I gave ID as username and this one as password. And these are two buttons, sign in button with ID sign in, and then this is the sign up button. Okay, so main activity class. So actually we'll start with DB helper class. This is the DB helper class, like which performs the database operations, so the retrieving, storing, where we write all the functions of like the saving data in the database, checking whether valid user or not, such things. So this is a DB helper class. So basically a DB helper class must extend SQLite open helper, which is a super class, and then this is like this is all mandatory whenever you extend the SQLite helper class. So in the onCreate function, we are going to write the query for creating the user the table. So when we are creating the table, we must write we want a table which has email, username, password, and then phone number. So we are using create table users, email varchar, password varchar, phone varchar, and name varchar. And then we are using the execute SQL query command using the DB database object. Now on upgrade, this function is used to drop the previous table if you change the version of the existing table. So if you are in version 1 and if you want to change the version to version 2, and this might be helpful. Like whenever you give the input as version 2, the older version 1 table drops, and this one just this. So version 1 table drops, and then version 2.1 is rewritten into database. So I have written a function called the save data function, which takes input of username, email, password from the sign up page, and then we use this content values object first to write anything into the database. We have to create a SQLite database object and get the get writable database, and then using content values create a content values object CV. So using CV we can store values in the database using put function. So this string is the name the string is the name of the column, and then this is the variable which contains the value. So when from sign up page, when I send all the values, they are going to go in the row like this. I in the CV put, and then db.insert of users in null, and then CV. This returns the number, this returns the status, like if he has the number of records, so it is long, so we create a long record and then return records. I created a function called boolean check function, which accepts string A and string B, which in case are username and password, to check whether the user is there in the database. So SQLite database DB get readable. Get readable is like only when you want to read something from database, not edit. So this is the cursor object which is used to scrape through the database. I use db rock query and then select start from users, while cursor dot move to next. It's like when there are multiple rows, and if there is single also, this function is helpful. So we are reading the value of the column 0, which in case is our email, and then column 1 is password. So we are reading column 0 and column 1, and then if the entered username and password matches column 0 and column 1, then we are returning true. That means the user is valid user, otherwise false. So this display function, which takes the email and then returns the row of all username, email, password corresponding to the particular email. So our query must be select star from users where name is equal to email, name is equal to mail. So while cursor and move to next, string email dot cursor, it gets all of the row which has the name mail which we have sent through this. Then we have formatted the output string and then return the string. So we'll go to main activity. So main activity, we created the database helper object. This we have to give the context of this activity, and then the name of the database, and then the version, and this factory null. Here I created the database helper object as static, so I can use it every main class, sorry, every Java class. So we are getting the username and password edit text box in the sign in and sign up buttons. So when we click sign in, I want to check whether the username and password are correct. So with the function we wrote, I am passing the name and password to that functions. And then if it returns 1, if the status is 1, then I am redirecting it to the third activity, which is like the displays all things. So for that we are using intent, then it is main activity 3. So from intent I am sending the user email and password, otherwise I will say that email and password is incorrect. On sign up, we are going to the page, next page, just nothing, we are going to the sign up page. For that main activity 2.class started to intent. So in main activity, so let's go to main activity 2. So this is the main activity 2. There is one text view, 4 edit text box, and 1 button. So you know the basic coding of this thing, and give IDs for everything. The main thing is in Java class. So here on clicking sign up button, first I have to check if already any user exists with the same mail. So for that I am checking using the same check function if there is any user in that. If there is user, then I'll give user already exists, or if there is not any user in that, I'll give the message, I'll register it, like I'll save data, and then I'll give a toast message like registered successfully. So this is the main activity 2. okay. After main activity 2, after it registers successfully, I gave again the redirection to the first like login page, so that user can log in and then go. Otherwise, if you want, like after successful sign up, you can directly go to the main activity 3 class, so that it will be some more like you have to avoid the logging in again. It may be your wish. So in this main activity 3, it's just simple like returning the data. It's just only one text box, one text view with some ID, and then here what we are going to do is we are getting the intent which we are sending from the main activity main activity class, main activity main activity Java file. We are sending intent of email and password, so that we are getting using bundle.extras, and then using this name. Actually this password I didn't use, so it's not of use. So using this name and using this dba object, which is static object in main activity Java file, so we are sending it to the display here. So here the mail is coming here, and then using that mail we are returning all the data. We are forming it into a string and then returning the string. Where it goes to this file here, and it is setting in the text view. So this is the main thing, which is like this is the main coding thing of this. Hope you understood.